Hi everybody! Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite moments in Mansfield Park. It's a novel by Jane Austen. I'm not going to be talking about the movie or any other adaptations because I haven't seen them. And I just finished it, and in case you haven't read the book or seen the movies or whatever, please do, because I'm going to be talking about very spoilery stuff that's going to kind of ruin it for you. But if you wanted to know what it's about a woman who is raised in her uncle's house from the age of about 9. So her uncle is this very wealthy man who actually makes his money from slave trades, which isn't dealt with at all in the book because it was normal at that time, I'm guessing. But he raises her with his other children, and she falls for one of his children who, yes, is her first cousin, and they kind of deal with that and like him falling in love with someone else and all this other stuff. And it's really interesting, and you should read it, if not just for the fact that she's a very unique main character and very different from a lot of the ones that are getting kind of like shoved down our throats lately. She's very passive and quiet, but she sticks to her convictions. She's not like in your face and doesn't want to like beat people up or anything, and she's not super moody. Like, she cries a lot, but it's like understandable crying. I liked her a lot. Okay, so now on to my list. Number 5. Mr. Rushworth gets excited about his part. Now, this one's the lowest on the list because it's like the least consequential, but I love really ridiculous characters like Mr. Rushworth. He's super oblivious, he has no idea what's going on with his fiancée, and his fiancée flirting with some dude, using this play as just like an object to hide from it. But they give him a part, and it's this like bit part that has like 42 lines. That's it. And he's super excited about it. And they're like telling him about all the costumes he's gonna get to wear, and he's like explaining it to everyone like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like wearing this like really awesome outfit, but I guess I can make it work. And oh, he was so dumb. And like Fanny had to help him with his lines, and oh my gosh, he was the best. Oh, I loved watching him just kind of like play around, and then he was like totally shocked at the end of the book when his wife leaves him. Like, no one saw that coming. Whoa! Oh my gosh, he's the best. Number 4. Fanny buys a silver knife for Betsy. So Fanny goes back to her parents' house for a little while, and she stays there for like 3 months, and she meets all of her younger siblings that she only remembers from being very little. And one of her siblings, Susan, becomes a very good friend of hers, but she has a bone of contention with the youngest girl, Betsy, because the sister that's in the middle of them passed away and had a silver knife that was very dear to her, and she gave it to Susan. But Betsy like sneaks into her room and steals it all the time. And so what Fanny did, because she kind of saw this as a conflict that her mom never really dealt with, she just bought Betsy a knife because she was able to. And Betsy liked it so much more because it was brand new that she just kept it. And then Susan was like, hey, you're cool. Thanks. That makes me happy. And they became really close. And like the whole situation of being at her parents' house, which was so different from Mansfield Park, was just a lot better. And I really liked that. I really liked that Fanny took initiative and actually like did something to help someone. Because most of the time she's just helpless. Number 3. Sir Thomas orders the carriage for Fanny. Now this was kind of a trivial one too, but I liked it a lot because it was kind of the first comeuppance for Mrs. Norris. So what happens is Fanny got invited to go to the parsonage for dinner with Edmund, and they're thinking, okay, Edmund's gonna ride his horse, but Fanny can just walk. That's what Mrs. Norris is saying. She's like, you're just gonna walk. Nobody would have even invited you if your cousins were here. And she's super mean, and she puts Fanny down all the time, and she's saying, don't even think about asking for the carriage. And then like 2 seconds later, Sir Thomas pops in and he's like, hey, Fanny, when do you want the carriage? 4? Is 4 good for you? Is 4? How does that sound? 4? And she's just like, what? You don't need to order the carriage for Fanny? That's just stupid. And he's just like, shut up, I'm doing it. And it was just such a vindicating moment, you know, and Fanny just kind of like sneaks out of the room like a minute later, and you can probably guess that Mrs. Norris was very angry. Number 2, Edmund shuts down Mary Crawford. So after Henry runs away with Maria, there's just all this stuff going on, and Edmund tells Fanny about it later, but we find out that he met up with Mary Crawford to try and figure out what's going on and see if they could salvage anything. And she's like, oh, they're just being stupid, and this would never have happened if Fanny had just married Henry. He would have like flirted with her and stuff, but they wouldn't have run away together because he would have been so happy. And he's just like, You are not making light of this, and you definitely did not blame this on my favorite cousin. No. We are never speaking again. I am amazed that I was ever in love with you. We are done. And he just leaves, and I love it, because he stops being a chump for like 3 seconds. It was great. It's still weird that she marries her first cousin, though. Edmund and Fanny, I just can't get behind it. Gross. Number 1. Fanny says no to Henry Crawford. Now, in this moment, Henry Crawford didn't quite get it, that she did not want to marry him. He was just like, oh, she was just so surprised by it. Obviously she wants to marry me, I'm awesome. But the fact that she even said no was just kind of awesome, because Fanny gets pushed around and everybody tells her what to do and she just does what they say. And this is the first time that she actually sticks to something and literally everyone is against her. Even Edmund. And Edmund isn't like pressuring her into doing it, but he's trying to slowly talk her into it, and she can tell, and she keeps saying, no, this is never gonna happen, I'm not marrying him. And she sticks to it, and this is the one time we see Fanny stand up for herself. And it's just awesome. And definitely hands down the best part of the book. Okay. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking around this long, and in case you were wondering why my mouth looks weird, I had a blue candy cane before I made the video because I'm a moron, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye!